Hi everyone, it's Giselle with a message for today, and I would like to share a dream message that I received last night. Haven't had a dream message for a little while now, so they always come when they need to, and of course you can't force dreams, especially ones that have a deeper meaning to them, so they'll just arise as and when needed. So I'm pretty sure that I do dream about my beloved regularly, but they're not always so memorable. The dream that I had last night actually had to do with a soulmate, and this dream is quite vivid to me. So I've told you about this connection in quite a few videos, but most recently I mentioned it in Are They My Twin Flame video, which I posted a day or so ago. And in that video I explained how I had a very profound soulmate that had awoken me onto the twin flame path back in 2002, back when there was no YouTube. There was internet but very limited resources, and I discovered twin flame in a book somewhere. Can't even remember where now exactly. I do remember going to the library and looking for a ton of different books, but basically the soulmate I had met, I had an instant recognition with. I looked into his eyes and I knew, I recognized him. I didn't know where from, because clearly that was the first time we'd ever met in this life. He recognized it too, and he even said to me we must have met in a previous life, because it felt so familiar. And we weren't meant to be together. He was already in a relationship. I was in a relationship. A very bad one at the time. He was in a good relationship because he was married to this person, and you know, they're still married to date, I'm pretty sure, so he was in the right kind of situation. I clearly was not. I know the reason why we met. It was for him to help me on a soul level, for me to recognize who I was. I'm a twin flame, here with a great mission to help, with a great love to share. And he wasn't the one for me, and I was cool with that. But what he had brought to me was priceless. He taught me to love myself enough to stand up for myself, to get out of that toxic relationship and never look back, and to know that I deserved so much better. And that's exactly what he did, and for that I was so grateful. Now in this dream, I dreamt that we were working together again, and I had the compulsion to call him after we'd finished our project. And I've never expressed this to him in real life because I just didn't feel, I needed to, or that I wanted to confuse him or anything like that. Because even though we weren't meant to be together, the soul recognition was enough to make us both feel feelings for each other, but clearly couldn't act on them, and it wouldn't be good too. So but because of that, we always had this connection telepathically to a certain extent, and couldn't stop thinking about each other, although that, had to be suppressed because it wasn't right. In the dream though, I do remember calling him up, and I wasn't expecting him to answer. I was ready to leave a voice message and tell him that I was grateful for him and that he had given me so much. And the most important thing was that he taught me to value myself enough to live the life that I'm supposed to live and get out of a toxic relationship. And even when I was in my next relationship, he was once again in spirit, not physically, because we didn't stay in contact. Again, he led me to get out of my other relationship because that clearly wasn't working out either. And so in the dream, I called him up. He answered, and I was shocked. I was like, oh God, I thought I was going to leave you a voice message. But I just wanted to say goodbye and also thank you for everything that you've brought to my life. You've been there more than once, whether you know that or not, to help me get out of situations that I don't need to be in anymore, and to really live, to truly embrace the life that I'm supposed to live. And so, as I woke up from that dream, I just felt like I was closing a chapter. And it just felt like something had shifted. I'm probably never going to speak to this person again, which is okay with me, because he was a profound soulmate who opened up my journey, a very profound catalyst to me discovering who I am, this soul in a body, to learn lessons in this lifetime. And because of our connection, I had learned that I was a twin flame. Wasn't meant to be with him because he's not my true love, but he is very, very important and has played such an important part in my life. And out of everyone that I've had in my life, such as karmic partners, catalysts, twin flame, false twin sadly as well, and soulmates, I would say he takes second place on the rankings of what has this person contributed and taught me in my life. I would say, of course, my true love comes first, but he's a second, because there was never anything bad between us, I always felt he was very supportive, very caring, loving even, although he couldn't act on that, and just not toxic at all. All the other connections I've had with karmic partners, false twin, they've been very toxic. These people have been very unkind to me at times, quite abusive, some of them too. Whether that's mental or physical. Not all of them went physical, but a lot of them just were very mentally manipulative, and it wasn't good. But with my soulmate, it was never like that. It was a very pure, very loving connection. At the time, I didn't understand it. I was like, why aren't we meant to be together? We're so perfect for each other. But of course, he was just there to help me become more of who I was, discover who I was initially. Because he led me on to finding out about twin flames. And yeah, discovering who I was and growing into who I was. Every time I was in a situation that I felt, you know what, I shouldn't be here anymore, especially with relationships, I would think back about him, because he just taught me, you deserve better. And I do. And I always would refer back to that and feel strength within the knowledge that I deserve better. And I would just remember him and what he taught me and get myself out of those situations. Now, because the energy has shifted, I do feel that this chapter is now closed, and that I'm never going to have to do that again, getting myself out of situations where I feel like I've been taken for granted, or used or, not appreciated or even being made to feel less than. I'm never going to get myself into that kind of situation again, and that's why I feel this chapter is now closed, and it's okay to close. I wanted to share this message because I feel that a lot of my dream messages seem to have a lot of significance for whoever's watching, so whoever's drawn to this video. And I also feel that this is linked with the new moon energy as well. So also, speaking of the new moon, I have a 3 for 2 on readings and 3 for 2 on healing. So if you would like to take advantage of that offer, it's going to be finishing on the 3rd of June, which is tomorrow. Excuse me. Tomorrow, so I'll be taking the offer down after that date. So from the 4th of June, the original prices and promotions still apply, but this 3 for 2 offer where you get 1 session free for buying 2 sessions, so essentially get 33% off, will be finishing. So if you still like to get in on that, please click the links underneath this video, because it's a YouTube only offer as well. You won't find it on my website. And yeah, some people do like to buy multiples if they feel, oh, I want to stock up on this offer, but I don't know when it's going to be on next. You can do that if you want to. So thank you all so very much for watching. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.